The idea is to go bigger and bolder and make these dynamics of this whole universe crazier and massive.
The scope of Clash 2, I wanted a gritty style, but give audiences that adventurous spectacle.
Right. Well, in that case, we'd best prepare.
Prepare for what?
Oblivion.
Cinema now, what they can do is just mind-blowing. It's really awe-inspiring, actually.
What are you waiting for?
Jonathan, he's primarily all about enhancing the story.
Perseus has created this idyllic life on the outskirts of Greece. At this point, the gods are extremely weak.
The gods' power diminishes because they're not needed.
Humans, they have stopped to worship the gods, and that, of course, threatens their immortality.
The humans may have stopped praying to us, but there are consequences. Titans are breaking free.
Kronos, the Titan King, is about to break out and destroy the world.
Kronos is going to be the literal definition of hell on earth.
The world is falling apart, literally, so it really does become a world where it's man against Titan.
Perseus is on a journey to rescue the gods.
Perseus realizes if he doesn't go on this journey, his own world will be destroyed.
Sometimes you have to step up even if you don't want to.
All the great myths share themes, and they're universal. It's to do with courage, destiny, and love. It's a mad story.
Right. Right.
I love very kinetic, suspenseful action, and I think having massive creatures within that is going to be spectacular.
Yeah, it's always good to start with something that scares you.
There's giants like Kronos, the Minotaur, the Cyclops, the Chimera. We have fight scenes that are just huge and exciting.
We have a Chimera, which is your three-headed monster. You've got the goat head and a lion head and a snake's tail.
It's a dirty, grimy, grungy creature with its matted fur.
They breathe fire, they're sort of terrifying creatures. We've never seen the like of them before.
We have the Minotaur. It's a deformed warrior who's been stuck in a chamber for 800 years.
It's kind of a human nightmare, really.
It has to be like a UFC fight, which is more emotional and more frantic and desperate because he's fighting the demons within himself.
That was a good one. We have Cyclopses, which are primitive giants but much more fierce.
When we were in the woods shooting the Cyclops, we didn't know what we were contending with. And you know, it's that one of those sort of classic things where you know there's something scary in the woods and you don't know what's going to come out.
Actually, just like a 5-year-old kid, you got to believe in the world. Hey! As long as, I believe that the monster's out to get me, then it doesn't matter. We know it's CG, Cyclopses don't exist, but if I dive into the situation 100%, then an audience will follow me.
We have Makai, which are these soldiers from the underworld, which are violent and terrifying.
Horrific creatures in their horrific sort of cadaverous, muscular demeanor.
These creatures that are a couple of warrior souls squashed together like in a junkyard and sent onto Earth to wreak havoc.
These Makai come out of these explosions. They're vicious, nasty things, incredibly demonic.
For a movie this size, you definitely want a director who thinks it's really fun to run around fighting monsters. So Jonathan's enthusiasm was infectious.
Oh,
3D.
The films I'm attracted to have a very documentary feel, this immediate, spontaneous style, and I wanted to sort of meld that with massive fantasy.
He's done big blockbusters before and understands the mechanics of how they work. And then within that, he wants to push himself, and that's what I like in any director.
Most days we have 3 and 4 cameras going, It's very, very intense. He's almost like a little 14-year-old boy. He loves what he's doing.
Snap, snap, snap. You kick.
Jonathan, what he brings is that balance between the heroic scale of the story and the reality of the characters and keeping it human so that you can relate to the characters and relate to the story.
You guys did it. You did it! Let's go home.
And one of the tacks that we took in this film is beating Perseus up.
No, I just had an idea that I wanted to get beat up every time. I think it's just a different dynamic to an action movie, that the guy's rusty, doesn't know what he's doing anymore. And every hit hurts, every punch hurts.
I definitely have a new appreciation for an action actor from working with Sam. He is extremely physical. With Sam in an action scene, he does it and I just put the camera down.
It was very physically demanding for Sam. He had to, in the heat of, Tenerife, he had to sprint through the set, leap over buildings, and he's a very good physical actor. He likes to get in there and do as much of it as he can himself, and is gung-ho. He doesn't shy away from doing some very physical things and under some tough conditions, but he gave his all.
You think, okay, I'm doing an action movie now. I've just got to kind of accept the scars and the kind of grazes because there's some sort of explosion, so we're rolling under things, climbing over things. I'm getting rocks dropped on my head and dust thrown in your face. You're just sort of thrown into this maelstrom, and it's chaos. It's total chaos and anarchy. And if you like that, then you like working on a film like this.
The sets are spectacular, attention to detail and the finishes done are immaculate, incredible. To me, the underworld has always been a dark representation of the inside of the earth.
The production designers created that underworld. It's really amazing. I mean, just the stage in London, in Shepperton, where the underworld was built, without the visual effects, I'm talking just about the physical set, it's unbelievable.
To work on something of this scale, it's, you really feel like you're in the movies. It's thrilling to know that you were in that fabulous setting.
Yeah, I think a movie of this epic nature, you have to have the grandiose kind of place that Wales can offer, that Tenerife can offer.
In the tradition of epics, we go to a few different continents. We go to the Canary Islands to get that traditional Greek volcanic feel, that Mediterranean, beautiful blue Aegean Sea, and then that dusty landscapes, dusty townscapes.
The locations are also stunning. We've been up on the top of the volcano, we've been above cloud level, awesome landscape.
We moved to Wales in these fantastic rock quarries. And I think having as much real locations as possible will make you feel as though it's a big old school movie as opposed to a CGI film.
With a movie like Clash, where most of the fighting is with creatures that are still existing in the computer, it's a surreal experience to shoot, but it doesn't faze us at all. It's part of the Clash experience.
I think now, as a whole generation of actors who've got quite good at it, green screens and having to pretend this and pretend that.
It goes back to, being a child and everything's in your head and imagining that there are creatures. It's fun and, it's a technical challenge as well, so it's something that I think one can get better at.
I'm awestruck by what is now possible, but the process is mysterious to me still, completely incredible.
Our biggest single effect in the village is basically the chimera burrowing under the ground and exploding out of the ground, and that's really the first time we see the chimera.
In almost every sequence, the effects are right in your face.
Nick, was quite keen on doing as much of the destruction as possible, as breakaways and explosions and stuff. A lot of the time it's better to do that practically because you get interaction with the actors. It really is a good combination.
Well, it is nice to get as many practical effects and interaction on the set as you possibly can do. We had buildings and walls that would collapse and explode, and and we did want as many of those as we could do. So it was a nice mix between using practical effects and visual effects.
I think that, to me, there's always a critical level of reality you need in a frame for an audience to buy it.
In this movie, we wanted Kronos to be, reality that gives it scale, that makes the audience feel that they're watching something that is 1,500 feet tall. And in this case, we wanted to add pouring lava coming off it. We wanted to add pyroclastic clouds.
His entire hand here is actually just one huge lava waterfall. The lava he's releasing to use as a weapon, lots of explosions.
For us as visual effects artists, we're always pushing it and we're always coming up with more sort of fantastical ideas and, and wanting to push the barrier because those are the things the audience hasn't seen before.
Fire the artillery!
Bigger action, new world.
What are you waiting for?
Just feels epic.
It does get your blood going.
All hell breaks loose.